Good day, Industrial Advisor listeners, and thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please do so by clicking subscribe wherever you podcast. Click the like button and hit the bell if you want notifications of when we put up new content. Leave us a comment about anything we discuss here today or general comments about the show. Now, let's get into it.
Welcome to our Industrial Advisors podcast with Bill Condon and Matt McGregor. We're doing a 5-Minute Friday today on in-person live cold calling.
Love it.
Which is kind of a lost art, I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, back when we started, like, everybody did it. We had a group of dudes that were, like, down there hustling.
Oh, and we were competing for deals like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because we all started at the same time. There was a group of very good brokers.
Yeah.
I won't name them all here, give them credit here.
Yeah.
But you know it. That was
Yeah.
a great class, right?
Yes.
And we were all door knocking like crazy, seeing each other, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, the first 6 months of my career, I went down to the Kent Valley with 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day, and I just spent the day down there and cold called. And and I mean, you have some great stories, by the way.
So do you.
Yeah.
I saved one for this podcast. I don't think I've ever told you.
Oh, good. Well, we'll listen to it here in a second. But it's super valuable, I think, for young, new brokers when they get into the industry, because you get to really learn the market that way. You get to see the market.
Yes.
You get to walk into a space and notice that they're tight on parking or they're jam-packed in their warehouse. And, I used to just like make it an internal competition of like trying to get more business cards each and every day and more meetings. And then like fun games of like, can I get somebody in the car to go look at a space the same day that I cold call them?
That's right.
Anyway, so there's all sorts
You were good at that too.
There's all sorts of benefits to doing it. And I think it's somewhat of a lost art. It's easier to do on the phone. It can be more efficient to do on the phone, because you're not driving 30, 40 minutes to go down and knock on doors. But boy, there's real value in doing it live.
There's way more value because, to your point, you are learning so much. You're getting information. People are way less likely to be rude and hang up on, in person.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different
I've had some
deal.
encounters.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it is so easy to not answer the phone or hang up on a person or just, then live, especially to your point, if you're good at it.
Yeah.
And they're confused to why you're there, they often would just go get their boss.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
you're all of a sudden in a meeting.
Yeah.
It is a lost art. Do you think it's as relevant today because of, are the decision makers there? Are they working at home? Or are they working in another state? How relevant do you think it is today? And is that why it's a lost art?
Well, I do think it's relevant. I think it's harder, and that's part of the reason why maybe not as many people do it. It's more uncomfortable. But once you start doing it, it's not uncomfortable, because what you find out is a lot of people appreciate the fact that you're out there hustling.
That's right.
Right? And so, I remember walking in like a suit. We used to wear suit and ties every day.
Sure.
And it was just a torrential
a little peanut butter
downpour.
on your,
dude, but no,
your cheek.
Yeah. I'd clean up. Yeah. Well, I had hair then. So like, it was like pouring down
Red
rain.
hair and peanut butter.
Yeah. It was pouring down rain.
Oh.
You walk in, like, suit's drenched.
Oh, yeah.
Hair's all messed up.
Totally.
And you're like, hey, I'm here. I'm Bill Condon. I'm here to talk to the decision maker about some real estate that we have, whatever your pitch was at the time.
That's right.
And people just look at you like, man, your job sucks. But so it's, sometimes you get that.
Oh, yeah.
Part two, and they feel bad for you, so you get to go talk to the decision maker.
That's right.
Yeah. So I think it's good.
Yeah, and you're right. We used to go down suit and tie, and I remember mostly like in the winter, and you're just getting drenched, and it's like dark at 4:00.
Totally.
Still got to get your knocks in.
Yeah.
The most intimidating park for me was Gateway North.
Oh, really? Everything said no solicitation, and everything was blacked
out. They still do.
Yeah.
Right. So when you walk up, right, because when you walk up, you're gauging, you're looking in the windows, you're like, okay, you're getting ready, you're seeing how it's set up and how you're going to enter. Gateway, you walk up and the glass is all mirrored, so you can only see yourself, not in, and it has those blue signs that say no soliciting on every door.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you're walking in, you're already like, I don't know what I'm walking into, and I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But you do it anyway.
That's right. Yeah. So one I didn't tell you about that I remembered when you decided to do this podcast is there was one up by the airport when Prologis used to own the stuff up at the airport. I forget what you call it, park up there when Prologis owned it. But I walked in to this place, and you know, you got to be good. You got to act like you own it. You got to act like you're supposed to be there to get past that gatekeeper.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
You just always have our secretary sitting there, right?
Yep.
And so I walked up and said, you know, I'm Matt, here to see, you know, Tom, whoever his name was. All of a sudden, she goes back, gets him. He comes out, has coat in hand. He said, let's go grab lunch. And so I jump in his car with him, right? And we go out.
He thinks you're somebody else.
He thinks I don't know if it was Matt Wood, if it was Matt O'Brien.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there was a real estate guy that was supposed to be there.
Yeah, a lot of Matts.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right. And so I go have lunch with this guy and end up running and doing like a 12,000 square foot deal with him. And literally we had lunch and I start talking, okay, what are we looking for? And he starts describing it. And I'm thinking of a couple spaces that we rushed right down to.
Oh, yeah.
To your point. I already
Get him in the car.
I got him in his car.
Yes.
Right. And so we're rushing down already. And I don't know who showed up, 20 minutes after me for lunch, but they were out.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. The trick was like always get somebody in the car as quick as you possibly can. Warehouse, doesn't matter. Get them in the car, go look at a space. And then it was like, you would claim that company.
That's right.
No, I toured them. I toured them. Yeah.
And then as far as like outlining, your balance between, now it would be your social, going through social media for cold calling or live calling, emailing, phone calling, the balance. Even back then, I really, really liked the live cold calling, taking a ton of notes, then going back and literally the next day or that afternoon.
Absolutely.
Dialing.
Yes.
I ended up with a big requirement because a guy was parked all over the place, ended up selling 3 buildings over it because I called him and said, hey, I just walked in. I'm sorry I missed you. But gosh, you are jammed in there. I mean, your employees are parking all over the place. That's got to be painful. Yeah, it is painful, right? And all of a sudden, because you saw it and because you understood how that company was struggling, you are in dialogue with them that you never would have been if it was only a phone call.
Being in the market creates deals.
That's right.
Whether to this day, you can be down in the Kent Valley, drive by a building or something, and it might remind you to do something. Just being in the market creates deals.
I totally agree.
So live calling is important, and we tell our teammates that, and it's a really important part of it. So young brokers, we encourage you to get out and do it. And if somebody tells you that they're working with Bill Condon or Matt McGregor, just lay off. Yeah, lay off.
Just know your beat.
Yeah. No, it's really a good thing to do as someone new in the industry. So we would encourage it and appreciate everybody listening to our in-person cold calling 5 Minute Friday.
Happy Friday.